Hello, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. Well, as some of you may have heard, Google is hiring 10,000 reviewers to clean up YouTube. That's right, I guess it's the second phase of their campaign. And the reason why I think this is important here in our community is because a lot of our opinions, even solely about precious metals, are not popular or are sort of demonized in a sense, or looked upon, or we're all grouped together as being, these mad dash preppers and wacky folks that are like anti-government and the like. But that couldn't be further from the truth, really. Most of us here have found in the community there's a lot of varied opinions about all sorts of different subjects, and even about silver and gold. Some of us who may be great friends may have different views on where silver and gold is going, or its importance, or its role. We all enjoy the precious metals, either as collectors or stackers, but nonetheless, there's a stigma attached to it. And so that's why I think it's important to go over this information with you about the statement from the CEO, Susan Wojcicki. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but this is an article from CNN's tech page, which CNN is known as not being very fair in their reporting, or very balanced in their reporting. But nonetheless, they're talking about how this has going to have an effect, especially by the end of 2018. There will be 10,000 people working to address content that might violate our policies, the CEO said in a blog post, which we'll take a look at here in a moment, but did not say how many people currently monitor YouTube for offensive videos. Some bad actors are exploiting our openness to mislead, manipulate, harass, or even harm, Wojcicki said, adding that YouTube's trust and safety teams have reviewed nearly 2 million videos for violent extremist content over the past 6 months. We're also taking aggressive action on comments, launching new comment moderation tools, and in some cases shutting down comments altogether, she said. YouTube has grappled with a series of controversies this year concerning videos available on its platform. Was forced to adopt additional screening measures last month on its kid-friendly platform, YouTube Kids, after reports showed many of these videos contain profanity and violence. Companies such as Etihad Airways, Marriott, and Deliveroo pulled their advertisements in June, as did the UK's Labour Party, after finding they were appearing alongside videos made by a hate preacher. Wojcicki said that YouTube was taking a new approach to advertising with more manual curation, stricter criteria for videos eligible to show ads, and a greater number of ad reviewers. And I'll note here that that particular approach has been a blanket approach. There's been, obviously, as most creators out there who do use the AdSense on YouTube have noticed, that almost every single video that is published immediately, or even before it's published, as soon as it renders, it becomes flagged for limited or no ads based off of the algorithms that they have, which needs to be refined big time. They had posted in their information blogs, or the video blogs, that they had been working, and it should be a lot better now, but it's actually gotten worse in some cases. In other cases, a video that has been approved, it gets flagged down the road, or reflagged again as being inappropriate. But they say that they want advertisers to have peace of mind with their ads that are running alongside content that reflects a brand's values, she said. Equally, we want to give creators confidence that their revenue won't be hurt by the actions of bad actors. But that's exactly what's happening. The company isn't just banking on more human intervention. Its machine learning algorithms, which have been a miserable failure, actually, from the creator side anyway, helped remove more than 150,000 videos from YouTube since June that depict violent extremism. And I'll give you a notice. There's an example of one. The most popular YouTube video from this channel, and I forget the name of the channel. It's WAP and I forget the name of it. It's the greatest freak out ever is the name of it. And this video was actually the only genuine freak out from this young teenager that got something taken away from him. And he just goes ballistic. And it's actually quite humorous and funny. And they've since tried to recreate that randomness and in follow-up videos that have gotten these views. But the one video that got the most reaction and made them famous, YouTube took down. And it's quite unfortunate for sure, because there was nothing in that video that was dangerous or well, it was funny, but that's just it. Comedy can be edgy sometimes. And of course, there's the whole idea of political correctness. And for viewers of my channel, you know how I feel about political correctness. And but anyways, Kiki says that 180,000 people would have to work 40 hours a week to assess the same amount of content. So they're relying on their machine learning. Because we have seen these positive results, we have begun training machine learning technology across other challenging content areas, including child safety and hate speech. So that's the article from CNN. Now here's the official blog, and and it's fine. Google and the Alphabet, who own YouTube, have totally within their rights to censor whatever they want for whatever reason they want. That's the American way. That's part of what the freedom of a private business has. It just so happens this platform in this space. There was CNN showed a video showcasing a park, and this is where where people go and it's like a big park, but it's really not. It's YouTube. It's their platform. It's their place. They're giving us the privilege to be here. We do not have a right to be here. As a content creator, I have a privilege to be here, not a right. So they can censor, they can demonetize, they can delete my channel for whatever reason. I hope they don't. And but the thing is they're given this aura of being open, but they're leaving themselves up to really be exploitive in how they shift and how they use these processes. When they talk about violent extremist content, how do you define that? Is it Islamic terrorism? Is it a march against something that would be against Antifa? Is that considered violent if you are marching against Antifa? Is what Antifa does considered violent extremism? And then the other thing is hate speech is also mentioned in some of these guidelines and these approaches. And how do you define hate speech? And when you use terms like ecosystem and everything, it's a little bit. They want to be fair, but at the same time, I think the way they're going about this really isn't fair. And I think that's really the thing, the problem behind it, because as we've seen from Google itself, there is an agenda there, and if you go against that agenda, you're forced out. And I think some have been critical with how YouTube has been forcing some of these things, and they've been targeting people who don't necessarily share their points of view, but who are not dangerous at all, but just have a different viewpoint. And I think that here in the community, here in the silver and gold community, and those of us who care about monetary policy and economics, and we want prosperity for ourselves, and in the community, and really want to help others become aware of these precious metals. There's sort of a stigma attached to us, even if some of us may carry the same political views, and there are some in here in the community, as I mentioned before, who may share the same political views of those at Google or some of these other organizations and platforms like Facebook that tend to hold those viewpoints. And so I think that YouTube, Google, and Alphabet have got to be careful with how they implement. And if they want to really come across and be fair, then they have to really show fairness in how they implement these strategies. And I'm all for getting rid of dangerous content. I think really that's what it boils down to, is we need to get rid of dangerous content, something that could really cause harm to others, physical harm. Other than that, if it were my platform, I would almost say anything goes, and because the truth in the end should prevail, and and work to your best to try to uh, prevent fake accounts from creating a sense of viral sensations of some of these um, viewpoints that come across that are not the norm, or the popular ones. But the problem is that happens on both sides of the aisle too. So things to consider. And so there you have it. We'll have 10,000 strong next year to help review your videos or take them down, or decide what's right and what's not, and what they like and what they don't. So what are your thoughts about this? Post it in the comment section below. I'd like to extend the multitude of gratitude y'all for watching. I encourage you to please rate, comment, and subscribe.